with Antonio out, but how much more can he stretch the field and, both horizontally and vertically, and potentially having both he and Tyler on the field at the same time?
Yeah, he's a great player. This kid's freshman All-American last year, earned that. Tyler's on his way to doing that. So back-to-back years, I think we've had two really good guys that have come in here, and then Bo's having a great year as well. Probably his best year, his healthiest year for sure. And so I think we're in a good spot, man. And then obviously Troy and what he's been able to do a few of these games and gaining his confidence has been awesome. So I think our group is coming together, but it doesn't make us worse getting zero back. That is for sure. He's a weapon, and he's confident, and it's just good to see him running around and being able to get back out there and do what he loves to do. And no doubt he's a difference maker for us.
I think it's a 151 straight passes without an interception. Just what have you seen from him in terms of avoiding those type of plays?
Why do you say stuff like that?
It's out of the game notes.
Chapel, that is not. You may see that in the game notes, but you don't ever qualk. You don't say that. You never say that. That's like you got a no-hitter in the 6th inning, right? You don't. It's just you just leave it alone. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear what you said. Come on, Chapel. It's. He's growing. He's growing. He's gonna make some mistakes, but I'm telling y'all, we got us a great one, man. This kid is coming, and he's blossoming. And we saw it last year, but he just needed to kind of physically come on a little bit, and he's made of the right stuff. And I just think that he's got a lot of good football ahead this year and a couple years after this. This kid's going to be a great winner throughout his Clemson career, and we're just starting to see the type of foundation and growth that he really needs, I think, to go to the highest level for him. But I'm proud of him. He's had a couple tough breaks that haven't really been his fault, kind of gone against him, and he's made a couple of really dumb plays too. But he learns and he gets better. And this kid competes his butt off. I don't think I've ever been around a guy that loves to practice like him. He loves to practice. He loves to study. He loves to play the game. And when you're talented like him with the work ethic that you have, that's a pretty good combination that I think drives you toward greatness. And so he's on the right track. And he'll have some ebbs and flows, and he'll make some mistakes along the way. I'm sure eventually thanks to you, Chapel, he'll throw an interception somewhere along the way. Maybe it's 2 years from now, but it'll happen. And but he's a kid that really cares, and he's just going to keep getting better. We're really lucky to have him. I'm proud of him. And man, and the kid we don't even talk about right now, CV. We're redshirting him, and he's kind of over in the crock pot, but this is a really good, young, talented player too. So I like where we are at that position.
What's the pecking order at right guard right now?
Mitchell and Harris, battling over there, and they'll both play. I don't see a situation where they don't both play. We'll see who runs out there first. We've got a long week ahead from a practice standpoint, but excited about what Mitchell's done, and he didn't play his best game. I guess a couple games ago, but Harris got a lot of opportunity in the last game, took advantage of it, did a great job, and we're really excited about him and our OL in general, and what we have the opportunity to produce there over these next couple of years.
Coach, I guess we could call this the Radakovic Bowl. Are you looking forward to seeing Dan again? And what do you think about what he's done so far with their athletics and trying to replicate what he did here at Clemson?
He's re-energized them. Listen, Mario's done an amazing job, and I don't want to minimize that at all, because he's a great recruiter and a great coach, and he brings a lot of toughness, and you see that in his team. But any head coach will tell you the support that you have from the top down, and having somebody who knows how to generate that support is important. It's critical. And D-Rad, he's awesome. He does an amazing job. So I think he's He's a builder. You know, he's put a lot of things, I think, in place. I don't know where they are, but I'm sure they've got things going right now, from fundraising to facilities. You know, so I think they were maybe a little behind there in what they needed to do. So I think he's got a lot of vision, and he's got a lot of, you know, energy. So I'm sure Mario would tell you the same thing. He's probably made a huge difference for him in a lot of areas. And not just in football, you know, in just the whole athletic department. He's really, really good. Did a great job for us, and look forward to seeing him for sure. He and Marcy.
There's a Senate hearing going on right now about NIL in Washington.
There's a
A
what?
Senate hearing
Okay.
going on about NIL right now in Washington. I'm just wondering, you know, how confident you are that the United States government can figure out NIL and come forward with a solution that makes everybody happy.
I don't know. What's your confidence?
Zero.
0? I'm gonna have a little more than that. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I know we got a lot going on in the world. I would say my hope is more than 0, but I appreciate your half-empty perspective. I'm half full, so we'll just go from there. But I have no idea. I don't know. There was a hearing, but we got a lot going on in the world. But I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Deb, I've been hanging out with some of the parents after the Tiger Walk and being able to witness their camaraderie. I got to know KJ's mom last year a little bit and understand that she was the team mom, now
Yeah.
Lori. When did the team mom thing start exactly, and why do you see that as such a valuable and important part of this culture that you guys have here?
Yeah, well, I mean, that starts really in the recruiting process here. I mean, the way we do things is different and unique. You know, we're not all things to all people. We don't really offer a lot of guys. We don't do 100 official visits. And so people really get to know each other here. And it's a close group. Our recruiting classes are really close typically. You don't see a lot of decommitments at Clemson. You know, it's a rare thing. We had a little rough patch with COVID there, but you know, that's, you know, kind of, we weren't able to really do things the way we do things. But and so through that process, relationships develop, you know, and not only just with the staff and the players, but the families. It's a huge part, and it's a welcome thing here. I mean, our families are here all the time. They come to practice. They will come, and sometimes they'll come in on a Wednesday night dinner with us. But, you know, I don't know when it started. It's something we've done for a long. I just think we've gotten better at it. We've gotten more, you know, over the years. Like, we have a parent newsletter. We have a parent I guess it's a text thread or a Snapchat or something. Ashley runs it. Ashley, who works with me, she kind of runs that. She's our parent liaison. And so, again, we send them a newsletter every single week that we generate from within. It's just a lot of communication. I do a 13-month calendar that I send all the parents in August that has all the way through the next August planned, so they can be organized. And, you know, it's a lot easier to buy plane tickets in August for the next April than, you know, the week before. Say, you know, so we're very efficient, we're very connected, we're very organized that way. And I think that really leads to trust and respect, which accentuates relationships. You know, our families tailgate right here. I don't know of many places where that was something that I really fought for really, really hard when we built this building. You know, so our parents park right here on game day. They tailgate together. They use this facility. They use the grills. So they're together. You know, we have wherever we're on the road, there's, again, a parent who all's going. They share tickets. They all communicate. Need, you know, whatever. It's like a virtual, back in the day, you know, got to, need to out on the street, right? So there's a lot of communication that way. And I don't know when the actual team mom, you know, like official, probably as we got a little more, I guess, technologically savvy. And I would say Skowski's mom, you know, she was here for 10 years. So, I mean, she ran it for a while, and then it's just kind of gone from there. We do a lot of things together. You know, they sit together, and we do a big thing in the spring. We do a big family cookout in the spring game with all the families are here together. So they just know each other and spend a lot of time with each other, and they all have, you know, we're all kind of in the fight together, if you will.
I grew up playing really competitive soccer, and my coaches were like a hard, fast rule of like, if your parent talks to me, you're going to sit on the bench. Like that was a serious rule as like a high school club soccer player, and like through the ODP ranks, Olympic development ranks, and all of that. And I feel like that's more the norm of like, you're now adult men, keep your parents out of it, we deal with you as professionals. Why do you see that value in welcoming in the family and allowing them to come to practice? What's the benefit that you believe and have seen as a result of that?
I mean, we are a relationship, purpose-driven program. I mean, we're not transactional place. This is a relationship place, and you can't have a relationship with someone if you don't talk to them. And so, you know, it's just always been how it's that way with our staff. I mean, our families are here all the time. Our kids are here all the time. I just welcome that. And I think being a parent, you know, a dad, and being an assistant coach, I mean, you know, I know it's not that way everywhere where your wife is welcome to come or your kids are welcome and invited. It's just not that way at a lot of workplaces. But I always wanted it to be that way. From the day I got this job, I mean, I've tried to make it a priority to, yes, win, but, you know, win in a way that we don't, you know, sacrifice our families. And I said early on, I don't know if we can do it, but if we can't, then I can do something else. But it's just how I felt like we should do it, and that's the greatest thing about how we've won is that, you know, and that's why we haven't had lots of turnover around here. You know, people love it here. People know they're valued. It is family, and it's connected. You know, wives, kids. It's a hard profession, you know, because there's obviously a ton of scrutiny and criticism, and that's all part of it. And, you know, people are affected by that. Families are affected. So there's strength in community, and as opposed to isolation. And so we have community here. And it's something that we've nurtured for a long time, and it's not something that we have to fabricate. It's just a very natural thing here. And when people come here, they sense that. And I think it makes us unique. I mean, you can do a lot of things, but you can't fabricate, you know, family or genuineness. You know, people know if those things are real or not, and it's the same thing in the recruiting process. So, you know, I always tell people we don't, you know, I hate the term de-recruit, you know, and when you've done this for a while, you hear that every now and then, oh, you got to recruit. Oh, we got to de-recruit these guys. And I just hate that, because I think that means you were something different in the recruiting process than what you really are. And I always, you know, to me, it ought to be better when you get here, because you get a chance to be here. And, you know, so we're brutally transparent. You know, I don't mind talking to anybody. I'm going to tell them the truth. Now, they may not like that, but that's just, or at least what I think is the truth. But that's just part of it. But I think that, again, that people want to have a relationship and communicate and be told the truth. And so we don't shy away from that.
Can you refresh me on Gunn's injury? Did this come before you went and got White's, or I didn't?
It was kind of like simultaneous, that week. You know, he didn't kick that whole week that we got White's. He had the quad strain. So it's kind of, I guess, started a little bit before, didn't tell anybody or whatever, and then he had a little swelling, and so he didn't kick it all that week. And just on game day, was at Florida State, just kicked on game day, kicked off, and then he didn't kick Syracuse, didn't kick Wake Forest, all during the week. So he's been, you know, working on that quad strain, and so last week they cut him loose, you know, from just get back out there and start getting some practice reps and things like that. You know, as far as the swelling in his thigh going down.
I guess speaking of family, I think I heard a story that Daniel High once that Will, your son, was the emergency snapper, and he snapped to Drew, had to hold it, and that made you as nervous as all get out.
Yeah, I was going to throw up. Almost threw up. It was at Greenwood. No, wait a minute. It was at 96. It was at 96. And I'm like, I couldn't believe what I was watching. And they're back, 96, they're undefeated. They're backed up on like the 10. And I don't remember who the snapper was, but apparently I didn't even know Will was the backup snapper. I just went, what is going on? And I was telling Kyle, I'm like, oh my God, Will is snapping. And I'm just like, I've never seen him snap. I don't know he can snap. And I mean, it was kind of a windy, rainy night, and he's got to go snap from the 10-yard line. But he threw a strike to the punt. He had to snap on punt team. And then he snapped on field goal and all that the rest of the night because I can't remember who might have been Brody. Brody might have been the snapper, but somebody got hurt. But yeah, I had no idea he was the backup snapper till that night.
How do you separate that even now? Like the plays out there, he has the hold. You're not.
Yeah, it's so different for me here. It's just a part of the game. I don't even and I see the preparation. I just like any other player, it's just different. But when you're removed as a parent, you're just sitting up there and you're going, "Oh boy," I had no idea. But thankfully, it was a good snap, good enough to get it off anyway.
I think Clay said you guys played one-on-one basketball now. That you
Yeah, he's full of crap too. Yeah. That was a good interview till that moment. He would win a few, but I'm gonna win my share too. So, I did beat him in pickleball this weekend. Apparently this pickleball is a thing. So I'm learning how to. Been worked on that a little this weekend. That was fun. Got a good sweat in.
Coach, maybe one of the most overlooked aspects of what's happened in the first 6 games is your defense.
Yeah.
Ross, they fifth
in the country.
nationally, fifth in the country. So what do you want to see them to do second?
Be one. I want to see them go from 5th to 1. I think we're capable of being really good. We've done a lot of good things. So and it's kind of unique our open day because we kind of literally have like a halfway point, right? So what did we do good in the first half? And I guess we won the first part of the middle eight, the first 4, if you will, because we kind of get a little momentum going into halftime. So hopefully we can have good momentum coming out of halftime. But we did a lot of good things in the first half. I mean, a lot of good things. We really good third down team on both sides of the ball. We outgained every opponent that we've played. I think a huge positive is we've been in position to win every game. I mean, sometimes you look at these records and, you got some losses and you really weren't in position to win, right? I mean, we've been in position to win every game. Third down, it's been really good. I think we've got playmakers and depth emerging all over the team. I'm super excited about that. I think Swanson has been incredibly consistent. Nobody really talks about him. He's had a heck of a first half. That kid has really been steady and just really has playing with a lot of confidence. I think we've protected our quarterback well. And then again, we're a top 10 defense. So I think we've done a lot of good things. But going into the second half, what have we not done well? Well, we've not been a good red zone O or D as far as touchdowns, right? But if you go back to the Wake Forest game, and that was kind of the challenge, that's like we got to get better here. They had 5 trips to the red zone, and they had 1 touchdown. So we made progress. We had 3 trips to the red. Now take a knee out, all right? Let's take that out. We had 3 trips to the red zone. We were 100%. We had 2 touchdowns and a field goal. So hopefully that's a sign of heading in the right direction. We're going to chase red zone for after what happened in those first couple of games, we could go 100% the rest of the way and we're still going to suck in the red zone at the end of the year because you just chase that for the rest of the year. It's just a disappointing part of it, but we can start kind of where we are and we can improve there. So that's an area we got to get better, for sure. And hopefully that's a sign of what we've been able to do. And then we got to consistently play a little more complementary football. because obviously the turnover margin has been the biggest issue that we've had. So that's an area that hopefully will improve going into the second half as well. And I think if we can, just be even, we're going to be a tough team to beat because the guys are playing the way you need to play to win games. And so there's a lot of things to be encouraged about, a lot of positives, but certainly a lot of things that we got to improve on. We got to create a little more field goal consistency, but we've made 2 out of the last 3. And the one miss was a good, well hit, 51 or 2 yarder. So we're just halfway there. A lot of room for improvement. Again, accentuate the things that we've done well, continue to do those things well. And if we can improve in some of these areas where we need to, I think offensively, we did not play well in the last game. Just too inconsistent, too many plays of 8 and 9 guys doing their job, not 11. But we really played well against, Duke and Charleston Southern and Florida Atlantic. We put a good little run together, Florida Atlantic, Florida State, Syracuse. Offensively, we kind of had a little momentum, and I thought we took a step back against Wake. So we got to get back on track there. We can run the ball. We can stop the run. So there's a lot of things that are good. But, a lot of work to do here in the second half if we're going to have the type of finish that we want to have. And we got a bunch of great opponents that we got to play.
We can take one more if anybody has one. Anything from Zoom? We have time for one more if anybody has one. Go ahead, Matt. Matt, if you're trying to get in, we can't hear you. All right, in that case, we'll wrap up, turn the room over for the players. Thank you, everybody.
All right, thanks, guys.